And to guide you on the road to the next reality, here's Suzanne Taylor.
Well, welcome back to show number 3. So I'm reading from this wonderful Inside the Intelligence, which gives us the map of reality and my instruction for what I'm supposed to do. And if you haven't been here for the first couple of shows, go back and binge watch. Is it binging by 3? Well, watch them anyway so you know where we are, where we're going. Come on my ride. So I'm starting each one with reading a page of this awesome book that has been my guidebook since I think it was 1989 that this arrived on my doorstep, quite mysteriously. All right, page 3. Suzanne, see, it is to me. You are here to model a way of being that is very foreign to most people. We have programmed you to seek excellence. You cannot settle for less. You know the composition. The orchestra must be in tune. You are here to be a maestro. Your job is to make maestros. You are a spirit guide. We are waiting for you to get this. Free yourself of identification with earth boxes. Do your job. Don't complain. You're doing it. Relax. You'll do better, which is feel better, if you remember who you are. This is for everyone, too. You recognize the call to you? There is some kind of basic workability to look for, like you're a mechanic and the earth is a vehicle. Make it work. It works from skewing the point of view from a separate me to a collective we. Humanity as a collective is causal and can create success. There's a leap so awesome to be taken at the heart of life's mystery that none go there. Jesus was the only one. Others have known God. Jesus was God. That position is what people are to assume. Just imagine it. However, that voice is never heard. Jesus said who followed would be greater, but so far no one has been as good. Find company, meet in passion, and step into life. You will merge in ever greater capacities. Suzanne, just get how unusual you are. Don't do anything with it. Don't expect anyone else to get it. Your truth is independent of anybody's recognition. Surrender to who you are. You can never give from an empty cup. Replace the desire in your cup with fulfillment. Do it by giving to yourself. We are raising you by your own power to the absoluteness of yourself as what you bring to the universe. We are freeing you to give to others by demanding that you first give to yourself. Whenever you are out of sorts, there is some lie or dishonesty about your life. You are doubting yourself instead of loving yourself. The lie is thinking you are less than you are. This is really for everybody. Unusual, hey, the world has moved. This was, late 80s. Come on, a lot of us are getting it now. How do you love you? Let you count the ways. For until you feel worthy of being showered upon, until you can exist in self-adoration, you are ego-bound. It's funny, isn't it? You think of ego as loving yourself. No, we need to love ourselves. You can't hate yourself and then be happy or do good or what? No. Demand of your allies that they treat you well. This is a gift to them. Show them how to be good to you. Surround yourself with power. It is your time to play a guts game. You will get in your universe exactly what you settle for, and it's time for you to have nothing but the best. A guts game. That's the end of page 3. Game. You know, life as a game. I think about that a lot now, getting older. We all get to play a part in this grand game. We get maybe something less than 100 years. What about that Shakespeare quote? Why is it so famous? All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players on it. He was looking at that same thing, this kind of finite thing that your life is. You're not here forever. It's not like you do this and accomplish this or win this war and now you own the world. You're going to leave. So why in the world would you spend, or we spend, portions of our lives destroying each other? We get so little time, really. It's ridiculous for us to blow each other up. I mean, we've got to get beyond that. But however, life does learn. It's one way you can think about the whole process since the fireball. Everything's learning itself. There are somewhere between 30 and 100 million species. I mentioned this before. And it's not like everyone had its separate track and became what it is today. That's sort of a Darwinian idea. No. Everything affects everything else. I also mentioned before, I think that we are over 90% not human in our DNA. It's everything else. Everything's mushed together. Everything's evolving together. And if you look at the evolution of a society, you can actually see it. A couple hundred years ago, people owned people. That's unthinkable now in the modern world. And even look, in my lifetime, women's lib has changed the game. I could never have done this before women's lib. I was a housewife. Well, I was also an actress trying to get out of that little contracted model, but not really too far out. It was expected of us. Most women, here I was, a Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. I graduated from college. I didn't really expect to have a career. I was a drama major. I mean, I even knew what career I wasn't going to have. And I managed to be successful as an actress, but only in making commercials. I did a little bit of everything else, but never got committed to a show where I'd have to be out of the house for, the way people who are regulars on a show. I mean, a few people obviously broke through. There were movie stars, but not many. The nature of the game was we were supposed to be housewives. My mom was a housewife, college graduate. She was in college at 15, NYU. She was president of the women in her senior year. What did she become? A housewife. Well, now, in this next evolution, women's lib, we're always getting freer, more free. We're always becoming more intelligent, you might say, lifting the restrictions and the boundaries that keep us smaller than we can be. But look at what's happening now. We're in a kind of danger now we've never been in before. We've gotten so good at our mechanical world where we can actually blow ourselves up, but our thought process has not kept up with it. We're not as evolved in our understanding of life as we are in our ability to destroy it. I want to take you to one of my heroes now. This is a book that is my favorite book in the universe. It's called The Universe is a Green Dragon. It's a cosmic creation story by Brian Swimme, my hero. And he's actually giving you the map of our evolving. It's another kind of map, this book. It starts in the fireball, and it will show you how, or you'll see how, because it doesn't show you anything. It's not like an objective book. This happened, that happened, the next happened. It's all written in metaphor. It's brilliant. I've bought over 1,000 copies. If you knew me, you'd have a copy of this book. Because, we all share this kind of common understanding of the fact that we came from the origin of the universe. It moved, it evolved, it spread, and we're still that. The atoms in us are still the atoms of the original fireball. And, there's a chapter in this book called Evil from Cosmic Risk. So here we are. We're the only species that we know about, in this planet, that can think independently. There's life, lots of other life, but it's all run by instinct. So as the universe learned itself and developed itself, and as the planet developed itself, and as intelligence developed itself, you could say the universe or the planet came to this crossroads. Here was the decision that life made. Life made a decision to create humans, and the chapter in this book about that is called Evil from Cosmic Risk. Evil from Cosmic Risk. And what it says is that, in fact, when it created humans, it created the first thing that could turn around and destroy the creation. But why did it do that? I mean, that would have been a terrible move to make if that's all that they got from it. But no, what the planet got, what the universe got, was something that could appreciate the creation. I mean, this appreciation idea, I told you, creativity, create and appreciate. Creativity is my watchword, and I need to be appreciated as well. Those two things go together as kind of a basis of what makes life happy or successful or feel good, make it feel good. Well, so too, the universe had this capacity in the human to appreciate this creation. Okay, universe took a chance, made human, but evil from cosmic risk, we could destroy it all. What I want to do now, I want to read you something so you get the beauty of this book and go buy it. This is about how we are all connected and how it's one evolving, intermingled kind of affair that we're involved in. And this is a book that's a conversation between a youth and a sage. The sage is named Thomas. The youth is named Youth. So we ask questions. Youth asks questions, and Thomas answers them. So Thomas is speaking, and he says he's prepping for what I want to tell you about how we are this mush of everything that is evolving. He says 100 television shows surround us right now, yet we see nothing. There are men in motorcycles and whales, young women, sailboats, all right here flooding us, but we remain unaware of them until we create a unit that can evoke them from electromagnetic waves. So too with the deep feelings of the universe. They sweep through the cosmos unnoticed by humans who have not developed their innate sensitivity. And here's the youth. But what do I do to develop sensitivity? Learn to listen. You have to devote yourself to this skill over long periods of time. Really listen. The magnificent feelings of the universe flood you. Listen for them in every situation of your life. Listen to your friends with such sensitivity that you are leeching the very air that surrounds you. Listen so that if it were given to you, you would hear the whirring of Saturn's rings or the least wind a continent away. This is really beautiful writing. This isn't, science says, When you leave your friend, her presence will emanate from you. Notice this, feel this presence radiating from you so that you can deepen your awareness of the way in which you dissolve the universe and absorb it. When you walk into a forest, learn to tremble with the magnitude of what you are about, and you will never walk out. There will no longer be that self that approached the forest, for you will be new. You will bear the presence of the forest with you. Forests are alive with music on all sorts of hidden levels, and when you hear this music, you will know that the forest has permeated every cell of your body. I just love this next slide. Sip a cup of coffee the next morning, and all the fir trees grow warm. The natural, human, and divine worlds flow together into our feelings. You need no teacher. The universe is your teacher. The forests are your teacher. You will know when you fail to learn, for failure is punished with boredom. If you develop even the least flicker of sensitivity, the universe will come alive within you. Oh, when I got this book, I closed the door, and it took me a day. I stayed in my room. This is such a beautiful book. So from the beauty of this, let me say a word about our capacity to kill one another. Oh, why are we doing this? This is just really, we've just got to get beyond this. But, Maslow, Abraham Maslow, who's the father of humanistic psychology, which is the new age self-awareness kind of trip we're all on, he said capacities are needs. I have this quote I wrote down of his. He famously talked about capacities being needs that clamor to be used. Capacities are needs. So once we know once we can kill, eventually we will, unless we change our course, unless we see bigger than that, unless we get beyond that. This Armageddon that we face, it's the elephant in the room, that we can destroy ourselves. We're not talking about that. We mention it, Yes, human beings can do this now. Oh my God, we can do it, in the drop of a whatever. So we need to deal. We need to talk. We need to find ways to make it a world where people don't have that urge to destroy, where the afterlife is not preferable to this life. Make this a wonderful life and the afterlife for everyone, We're doing pretty well, but there's a lot on the planet that you can understand where they look elsewhere. Why settle for a life as awful as some people are leading? But we need to get the world's attention. This is, the first step. Everybody has to be looking in one place. And then, out of that, conceivably, we can deal, we can talk. This is a little spot to get the attention of the messiahs or the evolved people who want to think about these things. And here, hopefully we'll be creating an opportunity for us to think about them together. There's another book, I don't have the book itself here, we'll cut in a picture of it, that stays with me as just such a wonderful idea for how to work on this getting the world's attention. It starts with our own attention. Attention is always in the moment. It's not attention yesterday or in the future. No. Attention means now. Attention. And there's a classic book from a few decades ago, Aldous Huxley's Island, which is a utopian society. It's his picture decades ago of what the world would be like if it worked properly. And here's what they do in this book. They have trained birds. They're all over the island. And they are trained to say two things anytime they want to, or, the urge comes. So the words that they're trained to say are, guess what? Attention. Stop. Stop thinking about the past. Stop worrying about the future. Attention. This is the way the evolved kind of person knows to stay in tune with the present moment. And the other word, you have any idea what you'd be doing once you're at attention? Well, it's the Spanish word, I don't know why, but the word for compassion. Keep your heart open. Attention, compassion. And the birds are saying this randomly, so everybody on that island is reminded that this is the place to focus. This is the standing ground. This is your assemblage point. This is what to return to. So as we look at what will get the attention of the whole world, first of all, let's get the attention of ourselves. Be in this attentive spot. And what I want you to do, end of show for now, but for this show, but what I want you to do is I want you to get on the website and look at the outside the box ideas. See if you have any that you might add to what it is that our attention together might actually be focused on to do. What kind of wild thing? Like I got involved in crop circles because I knew that if we proved they were coming from elsewhere, we'd have a new game on Earth. So if you have any ideas for outside the box ideas, put them on the website, and otherwise comment on the ones that are there. Let's get this conversation going to take us where we need to go. So, until next time, do your homework.
To check out all the references mentioned by Suzanne and to have your own say about the show and about the world, go to suspeaks.org.